Okay, I think last session we covered all this part, like introduction of this automation anywhere environment, like Explore, Home, then automation where we can create a new bots, we can import the bots. Okay, so import export are the part when you want to just one example, this is your development environment and you want to push this or whatever the bot you develop, uh, you want to import in a UAT environment or testing environment or in a production environment. So you can export this bot. Okay. Right now in community edition, you do not have that kind of feature like a export feature. Okay. So now you can note down this one of the drawback of community edition. Okay. Import, you can import the bot, but you cannot export the bot from this as a automation in your licensing system. Okay, if you are using community edition for the development point of view and you are exporting this bot in real time development. Okay, so you can create like a 10 license out of only like you will buy a single license for import export kind of thing, or in a production environment or in development environment, and you will use this single license, means this community license only for the development purpose, like coding purpose, like an editor. Okay, so that's why this export feature is not provided with the community. Okay, so what they expect, if if they are not if they are providing this export feature here, then you don't need a separate license for the development point of view. So they expect that you can buy their licenses for the development purpose instead of using community. So community is only for the learning purpose. You cannot use it. It's for the enterprise version, like enterprise version for the any client. Okay.
நீங்களா கம்பெனிக்கு தான் நான் வருவாங்க.
Even sometime what happened, I uh, okay. Okay. Sometime what happened, I discussed with a few people, few customer, and they asked to develop bot for in community edition, and they can use that bot in their production version. Like they will use this community edition login with our username and credential, because community edition is completely free and available to learn. But if we are developing this with an Gmail ID, okay, so I will create a one Gmail ID and I will develop the bot and I will provide access to that Gmail ID. So they can use this bot in their like a production environment. Okay, but community edition is where they are continuously upgrading with the new features. There are some new packages they are adding continuously, so it will impact on the bot. Okay, so it may not work as per the enterprise edition. Okay, so that's why it's only for the learning purpose, not for the commercial use. Okay, now historical insight, then manage. Now you can see that devices, global values, credentials. So we will cover this in detail. Even there are lots of feature in administration, and I will explain maybe in last month. Like there are 2.5 months we will spend on this automation anywhere. So in last month I will create a separate environment where I will cover this administration part as well as few features of learning, creating learning instances. Okay. Okay. So, anyone is there who is not certified in automation anywhere? Like Kamachi, I think you are working on VBA. So, are you certified? Like automation anywhere certification completed?
Parag, just understand. I am using automation anywhere. I don't know anything in automation anywhere. I just started. I only used calling macro functionality in automation anywhere. This is the only thing I have done so far. Because my MTech I have completed many projects, but all those projects were only in DBA alone.
Okay, okay, I got it, got it. Okay, no problem. So, at the last session, maybe we will cover that how we can crack the certification, like a basic certification, advanced certification. So if you are working in a big organization and you are part of partnership, like your company signed any partnership contract with automation anywhere, then you can complete your certification without paying a single penny. Okay, so I will explain that in our last session, maybe in last 2 3 session. But right now we will start with the our basic development, like what are the taskbar. So like you can see, I have created a multiple folders here. Like these are the folder. You can see type it's a folder or it's a taskbar. So you can see here directly. Now you can see this is a PDF. Okay, so here you can see the type of folder, file name, then name of folder, name of files, then status, then size of folder. So for the folder, we do not have any specific size. But if you are scrolling here, you can see the bot size and file size. Then last modified by. Okay. So this is a community edition. So as per the community edition, you can use a single license. In community edition, single or I think two license you can use maximum. But community edition has that kind of limitation here. Okay. Now you can see last time I created a 3 years ago. So I'm using this account 3 years back. Okay. Now you can see I can perform like sorting kind of thing 4 years ago. Okay. 1 week ago. So this kind of operation I can perform like a sorting if I want to check the latest. If I'm using a type, now bot will be sorted only by the task bot. Okay. So maybe few of you use the old version of automation anywhere. Okay. So okay. So I will start with the old version. So I'm not sure you heard about that, but few time you may need to migrate from old version to new version. Okay. So I started my career in 2017 in RPA field, like RPA. So that time version 10 was a stable version. Okay. So version 10.x was a stable version, and it was this version developed on Microsoft .NET framework. Okay, and that time they came with the three different types, like um, taskbot. Okay, then metabot, and last is IQ bot. Okay, so I'm not sure you heard about metabot because metabot it's a part of uh, old version, like a version 10 and version 11. So right now we are not using metabot in current version. So from 2019, so I think in September or October 2018, Automation Anywhere launched 8 2019 version. Okay, so I will explain that in brief. But first of all, we'll check taskbot. So what is a taskbot? Taskbot means a regular command, like a regular bot where we add uh, commands and we create a simple task. Okay. So first of all, I think it's good if we are understanding that. So anyone tell me what is a task? Anyone? What is the meaning of task? Like you do, you perform some task on daily basis, and you say that I completed this task. So what is the meaning of task, Manoj?
So it's kind of anything. I mean, it's anything which is which we are doing manually. So that's the
Okay.
thing actually. I mean, whatever we are doing. I mean, whatever the manual steps that we are doing right now. So
Mhm.
I mean, it can be called as a task, right?
Yes, correct. Manoj.
Yeah, whichever task we are performing stepwise in a particular task is called task.
Okay. So task is like some sequence of steps. Okay. So like if so it's some sequence you perform some sequential step like sequence of steps. Okay. So like you have to perform something and there are few steps you need to perform to complete the task. So it's some sequence of a step. So I'm just mentioning in a short, but I will provide you this kind of information in detail or in a proper statement. So just for this discussion part, I'm mentioning in short. So similar, what is the process? Anyone?
Yeah, sir. I think that we need to follow some set of rules to perform that particular task in
Correct.
that.
So,
Set.
process is a combination of multiple tasks. Okay. So,
Okay.
if there are multiple tasks and to complete that, there are dependency on multiple people who work on the different tasks. But once you're completing all tasks, it is a process. Okay. So it's a process that multiple people involved in that or multiple different tasks are involved. So like simple I will explain I will explain a simple in simple example like uh, you have one finance process. Okay. So in finance process, just like you need to read information from email. Okay. Manually you do that, you go open that your inbox, you open your email, you read that information, then you put that information, you log into the SAP application or any web application, you enter those values, then once that values are saved in that environment, you may perform or export or send an email that this task is completed. Okay. So the tasks are like there are multiple things, multiple tasks are there you need to do to complete that particular part. So it's a process. Okay. If there are multiple tasks are there, then it's a process. Okay. So that is the robotic process automation where you need to create a different board for the different task and then you create a proper process. Hope you understand. So we can say it's a group of task and in a simple word. Okay. So it's not a standard definition I'm explaining here, but as a part of documentation or as a proper documentation I will provide you. I will share this with a proper explanation in a standard definition. Okay. But in a simple word, I'm putting like it's a group of tasks. That is a process. Okay. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah. So now task bot, like we create a task bot. Okay. So task bot means it is a sequence of a steps. Okay. So I'm creating a task bot. Okay. So I will open this and automation anywhere. I will choose this folder and like I will mention day 3. Okay. Now I will use a different command to create this bot. Okay. So first of all, I will I will explain what are the these are the some important icons. So start recording means we will perform some steps like click on here. So it will like I will click here and whatever the operation I will perform, it will create automatic coding here, like automatic logic. So I will explain this recording part later. Then find a file. So if I want to find any file, search for an item to include in your taskbot. Okay. So file finder. So this is a new features added by automation anywhere. Then search in this bot. If I want to find something, some command or some information, then undo, redo, then copy items, cut, paste, then copy to shared clipboard and paste from shared clipboard. So copy paste means if you want to copy some some of those line from one taskbar. Okay, so this is my single taskbar and I want to create a multiple taskbar. Okay, so I want to copy the logic from this board to another. So that time we can use this copy to shared clipboard. Okay, you cannot use this direct copy item. So I will explain this in detail, but let me start with the simple command which we use. So just for an example, we will use like browser command. So maybe so most of the people are well aware about that basic command, but still I need to cover this part as a part of our syllabus. So I will use a browser command. So why I'm starting with the browser command, because these are the basic command if we want to open any applications on a web browser. Okay, so I'm using browser command here. Okay, so what we do if we want to open any website. Okay, so what we need a browser. So now you can see what other options we have here, like open the specified web page in the browser. Okay, so it's saying that what version we need with the current environment. So in production, or sorry, in a server side, we have specific version and it require that bot agent version. So bot agent version means we have one exe file installed on our environment, on our system, on our machine. Okay, so this is the basic version we need to run on this server machine. Okay, so want to open, where we want to open that new URL. Okay, in existing tab means in the same tab we want to in new tab or new window. Okay, so these are the all features of browser. Okay, now browser name variable. Okay, so I will show you with the example. Now choose a browser tab, existing tab, new window. So I will start with the new window first. So we have multiple browser. So what is a browser? What is browser? So first of all, I think it's a good question to ask. What is a browser? I think each and everyone should know what is a browser. What is a browser? Pranjal, Mohan,
Yeah,
Manoj.
yeah. So browser is something through which we can open any application or anything like if you want to open google.com, right? So that
Mhm.
we can open using browser and we can browse through it. So
Okay. Manoj.
Yeah. It's a web-based application, so we can different version like and Google Chrome, Mozilla, we can access their browser.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. So I'm asking this basic question because as a as an expert in any programming language or any technology, so you should understand the other dependent technology. Okay, like what is a browser? So browser is a kind of application which support to open the web applications. Okay, so web application means you can open those URLs globally at any location. Okay, so that's a www dot. Okay, so world wide web means you can access that application on this browser. Okay, so the browser is kind of application which support to open any web applications. Okay, so when any developer develop their website in a PHP, Java, or .NET with those programming language or Python programming language, okay. But browser is support to open those in a HTML format only, okay. So there is separate process in a programming language where they convert their value or that programming syntax into the HTML format, and you can see those whatever the information you want to see in a browser. So that's like a rendering means converting those programming values language into the browser. So it create a different tags or different properties for those specific object like a text box. So text box has size, then width, height, then they have their unique ID. So we will discuss this part in a detail. But any web application developed with any programming, it will be converted into the HTML format, and browser is only understand the scripting language, that HTML format or some basic of JavaScript. Then for designing, okay, designing purpose, you use a different scripting languages like a CSS. Style sheet is one of that you use to design the web application. So this kind of feature is supported by browser. Okay, browser do not support any programming language. It only convert those programming language or values into the HTML format. Okay, so these are the most preferable or used browser like Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge. Okay, so right now most of the people prefer to go with the Google Chrome. Okay, so because it's very widely used by the people around the world. Okay, so even in version 8 9 till I think till 9 point something, okay, it's version 9, automation anywhere, they were focusing only on the Internet Explorer. So whatever automation anywhere they they developed that automation anywhere tool, it was initially only supported for the Internet Explorer with the more accuracy, like you want to fetch information from any website. So they recommend to use the Internet Explorer. Okay, but Internet Explorer is out of the market right now. So Microsoft came with the Microsoft Edge. Okay, but instead of Microsoft Edge right now, Automation Anywhere recommend to go with the Google Chrome browser. Okay, so most probably we prefer we go with the Google Chrome. Okay, now link to open. So I need to put like whatever the website here. What I will do, I will use google.com. Timeout after second. Okay, timeout after second. So it's a minute 9 seconds. So I think 240. Is it seconds or millisecond?
It is milliseconds.
Is it millisecond?
Milliseconds.
Okay. Okay. So what will happen if I'm not this browser is not opening due to any reason, or that application is not on your system? So after 240 millisecond, it will throw an error. Okay, it's not opening. It will close abruptly without any showing that without opening any browser, without opening any link. Okay, so 240 millisecond. Okay, timeout after seconds optional. So you're saying it's a millisecond. So how we convert millisecond to a second? Okay, like 1 second is equal to 100 millisecond, or to 500 millisecond, or 1000 millisecond. Anyone? Kamachi? Okay, so simply 1 second is equal to 1000 millisecond. Okay, if you want to wait for 1 second, then what you do, you write like 1000 millisecond. Okay, timeout after second optional. Okay, so it's showing that, but this browser, this feature timeout after second, it's in a proper second feature. Okay, it's not a millisecond here. Like what I will do, I will save this and I will run here. For the other command, you have proper millisecond, but here you have this second features. Now you can see here after seconds, like a 240 seconds. Now I'm downloading these dependencies. So what are these dependencies? Now I'm using a browser command and I want to use whatever the packages used to develop this browser command. So first of all, my machine or my bot agent download those packages from the control room. Okay. So this community control room, community.cloud automation anywhere digital, this control room contain all those packages. But to run those, this feature, this command, I need that, that browser packages should be on my system. Okay. So now you can see this task is your bot has run successfully. Okay. So all packages are downloaded on my system and bot executed successfully. Okay, understood?
Yes, Anand. So
Yes,
if
Anand.
Yes. Yes, please go ahead.
yes, Anand, is the browser we are using, so by default we are using or one below we need to use for browser
Uh, Sorry, I'm
package?
interested. Yeah. So now you can
Package.
see. Uh, I'm a little bit confused here. Can you please repeat?
Yeah, for packaging. So if
Mhm.
you select the package, by default it will be selected default package for the
Mhm.
browsers. So we need
Mhm.
to go for the default one on one below package need to be.
Okay. So what is the meaning of default packages? Okay. Sorry. What is the meaning of default browser? Okay. Default browser means the browser is supported by or whatever the setting you did on your system. Okay. So you select, like I'm opening any URL. Okay, just for an example. So let me show you. Okay. So default apps. Now you can see I have a default app. These are the default apps for the uh, for different files. Okay. So now you can see I have these options. Google Chrome. Okay. Now make Google Chrome your default browser. Okay. Set default. Okay. Now set default file types or link type. Now you can see that this is changing the type of that browser. Okay. Now whatever the application I'm using, I want to change their setting, so I can do that. Okay. So whatever the browser on my system right now, I have two different browser. One is a Microsoft Edge and Chrome. Okay. But to open this HTML file or like you can see that Microsoft Edge PDF document. So whenever I download any file and I want to open that PDF file, it will open into the Microsoft Edge only. Okay, because I set this as a open into the Microsoft Edge. Okay. So if I'm using any application, set a default app for PDF file. So if I'm using Microsoft Word, okay, so not only the browser but any application on your system. If right now I will show you that. Okay, now you can see I do not have any Adobe PDF reader or any PDF application my system. Okay. Okay, I have that file, but I do not have PDF reader application on my system. So if I'm using that kind of application, then I can change here. Okay, I can select that application and I can change the set default app as a Adobe reader. Okay, understood? So whatever the application I'm setting on my system, so this browser, this default command will automatically open in that application is default browser command. If I'm using default browser as the Internet Explorer, so whenever I run the bot, instead of opening into the Google Chrome, it will open into the Internet Explorer. Okay. If I'm setting default browser is the Internet Explorer, but instead of default browser, I'm using this Google Chrome. So this www.google.com will open onto the Google Chrome. Even I'm using Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge as my default browser. Is there any question? Okay. Now you can, yes. Now you can see that make Google Chrome your default browser, and I check like set as a default. Now what I'm doing here, I'm selecting here Microsoft Edge. Okay, save, and I will run here. But I select Microsoft Edge, correct? And now it will open into the Microsoft Edge. Now you can see notifying device. So once all packages are downloaded, we don't need to download each and every time. So next time it will automatically open those. Now you can see it opens this browser, Microsoft Edge. Understood? My default browser is Chrome, but I select the Microsoft Edge and it open with that Microsoft Edge. I'm closing this, and what I'm doing, I'm using default browser and I'm running this bot once again. So now use the default browser. So which browser? Okay, so it will open with the our default browser, and our default browser is Google Chrome. Now you can see that it opened multiple windows. So now in previous, I think previous run, I use the Google Chrome, so it opened with this same. Okay. Now you can see that it created a multiple window. Okay. So what is the meaning of window? That we are opening application with a different window. Okay. Now because I selected here a new window. Okay. Now I run two different time, it created two different window. Now I'm using a new tab. Okay. And last user browser type Google, open in new window if not found. Okay. So I will save this, and now you can see here we have only one tab. Okay. Here we have only one tab. Now it will create one more tab. Okay. Hope it's visible to you. It's creating a multiple tab if I'm selecting multiple tab features. Okay. I think Mohan, you asked that question. Hope you understood.
Yes.
Yes, I think Pranjali is facing some technical issue, and he kicked out. Okay. Now we have some standard recording feature, so I will disable this. So I have different feature. So now you can see here, run from here, copy action, cut action, remove action, disable action, enable breakpoint. So enable breakpoint I will explain in detail, where we need to check if our bot failed due to any error. So we enable the breakpoint and we will check that what is the reason, what are the reason behind that. So I will explain that breakpoint part later. But now you can see that we can perform this action. Like I want to copy that, cut that, remove, or I want to disable. Now you can see I'm clicking on the disable action, and now to disable we have Control plus I. So this is a shortcut key to disable this action. Okay. Now you can see by disabling that, the color of this command is grayed out like a gray color. Okay. So I will copy this. So I'm using Control C, Control V. Okay. And now you can see I'm enabling this. So enabling and disabling, we will use Control I. Okay. So I click Control. Or I will use not Control I. Oh, sorry. I thought it's Control I. So it's not a Control I. It's a Control slash. Okay. So you have separate slash button beside your shift, or there is question mark. So if you are using regular standard keyboard like a laptop keyboard, there is slash. Okay. So Control plus slash is used to enable and disable. Now you can differentiate both command. Now this is enable command, means this is commented command, and this is a enable, means active command. Now you can see it's look like a proper white command, and it's a grayed out. Okay, with this symbol. So this is a disable or commented code. Okay, which standard commented word you use in other programming languages like a C, C++. We comment with the 3/, then slash star, and closing with the star slash. Okay, so that kind of commented here, what we do, we use enable action and disable actions. Okay, so I'm saving this. I'm adding some message box. If you want to add a message box, you can search here MESS, and I'll put message box before browser open. Okay, and so I'm using copy paste, Control C, Control V, and copying and pasting that command. Now you can see, now I will run the bot, and now you can see my bot will start from line 2. Now this is deploying. Now you can check the small window here. Okay, so this small window is known as a runtime window. Okay, this bot running. Now you can see that line 2 of 4. So out of, we started with the line 2. So it will show that 1 at initial, but now it will directly jump to the next line. If we have 100 line of code, initially it will show the first line. Now it will directly jump on the active or enable line number. Okay. So just for an example, what I will do, I will copy this. Okay. So I will put this into the, okay. And I want to show this. So before browser open, so what I will do, I will close all this. Okay, I will click on this close button. So it will jump on the line 3 and then line 4. Now you can see line 3. So it opened this browser tab in my current window. And now this is the next message box after opening the browser. Okay, now you can see line 4. Okay. So okay, so this is a runtime window. Now this runtime window give the detailed information about that, like you are executing your bot. Now the name of the task bot. Okay, so this is the name of task bot day 3. Now I save my bot with the day 3 name. Now the line 2, like how many lines are there in your that task bot. Okay, So it will show that it's currently running at line 2. Now the action name is a message box. Now you can pause by clicking this button. Okay, you can stop or pause your current bot. Now you can stop by clicking here. Okay, so if you want to stop bot, you can close here. Instead of using this close button, you should prefer to close, click on uh, this close button. Okay, so I will explain the reason behind that. But if you are closing this, clicking on this close button, so it will close this window. It won't stop this application. Okay, this is a specific process running behind the scene. Running behind the scenes means whenever you execute your bot. Okay, so let me explain once again. So now I will show my task manager, so you will understand. Okay, now these are the apps right now running, so I will close few of those. Okay, now what I will do, I will run the bot, and I want to show you. Okay, now there are new process, new. Now you can see automation anywhere Java launcher. So these are the started here, bot running, automation anywhere enterprise client. So this is a client system, bot is running. Okay, this started here, and I'm clicking close after browser. Even the bot is running here. You can see now my process is completed. Now you can see that process, the task is, the process is out of this section. Okay, now this is part of this background processes. Understood? It's not running here. So whenever you click on this close button, so it will only close this window. It will not close that applications or that process. So you should close on this close button, or you can close the process by clicking. Okay. Okay, so I will click here, pause. Now you can see it's a play pause button. Okay, and it won't open the next command until I will click on play button. So you have two different options to stop your bot before executing next command. You can click here close, or you can stop your bot by clicking stop button. Understood?
Yes, correct.
Okay, if you're clicking this close button, it will close the window, but it won't stop the process which is running behind this scene. It won't close this application. Okay, even you are closing this application, like let me show you. I close this. Okay, now it abruptly closes this application. Okay, now it won't show here, correct, but at the control room it will create some flag system, and it will impact on your bot process. So you should make sure that you will close from here only, or that runtime window close option, that play and pause, we have that separate close button. So you should close from that this button or that stop button. Okay, if you are closing this window, behind the scene it will run at your control room side. Okay, that kind of challenges you may face in production environment. So if that process is running on that runner machine, so it will hold that kind of bot for a couple of hours, and your remaining bots won't run due to this bot is in like a frozen mode. Okay, or it's like it's stuck somewhere. Okay, so you need to make sure that you're running bot. you must stop the bot by clicking on this cancel or close button. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So I'm clicking on the stop. Mm, now you can see even I close the window, but it's stuck on that button. So now you can see it closed completely. Okay. Now there is another feature like close message box after the seconds. Like you can see the current, it's showing that second. So it's not a millisecond, it's showing as a seconds. Now it will close after second. And now it will close that message box after 5 seconds automatically. Okay, and it will display the seconds on the same window. Now 5 seconds, this window will automatically close in 2 seconds. Okay, now here this is the after browser open. Now you can see we do not have that automatic close feature here. Now we need to click manually here. Okay, so what is the use of this feature, like enable close message box after 5 seconds? Anyone?
When we
Sometimes,
want to, sorry.
sometimes it will take a long time to launch that browser, and that it will be loading.
Mm-hmm.
So next action, if you do next action, then the bot will get a error. For example, after this message box, if something that bots need to find some element and put some text in that text field. So at the time, it will that bot will see for that text box, and it will not be able to capture that.
Okay.
So that's the reason we are putting delay here.
Yes. Okay. So instead of using a message box, I can put the delay. I have delay feature here, like delay. Okay. And I can put the delay. So now you can see we have the delay in a milliseconds feature. Like you can see time unit, what kind of time unit I can use. If I'm using millisecond, so if I want to put less than 1 second, then I will go for the millisecond. If I want to put like more than 1 second or fractional, even that situation, I can go for the millisecond. But like a standard second, so like a 1 2 3, I can use here 5 seconds. Okay, if I want to use a millisecond like a 5 second, then what I can do, 5,000. Or I want to use like a fractional second, so what I can do, like I want to use 1 second 900 milliseconds, so what I can do. Okay, so I can use a second here for delaying purpose, but instead of that we have another feature of message box. So
Testing purpose.
yes, sorry.
A message box is for testing purpose.
Yes, different purpose, but we are using the delay here in a message box, like a closed message box after.
Yes, used for auto close message box after 5 seconds.
Auto close. Okay. Kamach, I think you were saying something.
Yes, correct. Actually, when we want to, sorry, when we want to monitor the bot in attended mode, or when we want to, first scenario is when we want to monitor the bot in attended mode, which action gets completed, or when we want to fix some kind of error after which action got completed, the error comes. So that time we can use the message boxes. One scenario. The second scenario is like when we created the bot in the user interaction manner, like once the input is placed, once this command is um, once this command is entered by the user, the next action has to be proceeded. So in that kind of way, we can use message box.
Okay, so this is the one of the this is one of the best reason uh, why we use a message box. So message box is like it explaining, or like we need to mention why or what kind of command we are executing now, or what kind of operation we perform before this command. Okay, before this command or after the command, what kind of steps we are performing. Like I clearly mentioned before browser open. So if there are 100 line and I'm putting this message box to explain what kind of task I have completed, but to read that information from message box I need a 5 seconds or 10 seconds. So I will give a proper example. Like I want to show some demo to our customer or to the client, and they want to understand what kind of steps we are performing in our task bot or the specific days report, what kind of steps we are perform. So for after each line of code or each task, like a browser open, I read information from Excel. So I'm putting message box and I'm using 5 second or 10 second delay to explain that specific step to the customer. Okay, so that's why we use a message box and we add the delay to explain that information to the user. Even we can use for the monitor. Okay, so monitor means I develop my bot. Okay, development is completed. Now it might possible that we will face some challenges in a production environment. Okay, because just development is completed, testing is completed, but we are not sure that it will work properly. The process is very complex. So maybe for the first 15 days or for 3 weeks or for a 1 month, we need to make sure that bot is working properly. Okay, so we call that the hypercare. Okay, hypercare means until and unless the bot is not working properly, we need to make sure that if any error occur, we need to handle that situation, and to check that all steps are working properly, we can use this message box with the delay. Okay, if we are not using delay, then the support person or that specific person need to click manually. Okay, like I'm using this after browser. Now I have one bot with a 2000 line, or like a single bot with a 500 line, and there are like 20-30 message box this uh, without this 5 second close message box after 5 seconds. So a person need to click separately on that button like this. Let me show here. Like this is we need a separate person to close the message box. So this is a part of automation, and even in that situation, we need a separate user to click on the close button to run the next command. If we are using a 20 message box, so that person will read this information and he found that this steps is perfectly working. But once again, he need to click here. So he need to run, click 20 times if we have a 20 message box. Okay. So we try to avoid that by adding the close message box after 5 seconds, 2 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. We can put any delay as per the our requirement, as per the developer need. Okay, so these message box are only helpful for the developer perspective, or if you want to explain something to the customer. So only that situation we go for the message box. Understood? Is there any problem? Any question?
No, Swanand.
I'm expecting some question here, guys. Like, what other thing we can do with this? With the message box, we can display few other values. Like, just give me a moment. I think I need to plug in charger. Okay. So these are the basic command we use here. Now you can see message box, browser, and delay. Okay, so what we covered three different. So we browser, but only open browser. Okay. Open browser we completed. Now what we will use, delay and message box. Okay, so I'm trying to cover the whatever the standard command we use in our day-to-day life for development purpose. So those are the basic command I need to cover on a priority. Okay, we have lots of feature, but these are the standard command we use on regular basis. Okay, so except this, we use a variables. Okay, we use a variable, so we have different sections. Okay, different sections like a trigger, action, and variable. Now you can see here we have three different sections. Now I click here, create variable, and now you can say I will create a variable. So there is some standard we follow while in a naming convention, like people use a v for the variable, but as the automation anywhere we use a some meaningful naming convention. For the string I use a string. Okay, the variable name, like I will use a uh, temp variable. Okay, so this is a string temp variable. Okay, now we have a use as a input, use as a output, constant, read only. So this is when I mark it a constant, so it will be a fix for the value will be fixed. Okay, so like 10 default value. Okay, but I will explain this use as the input, use as the output in a detail when when we are discussing like a master bot, sub bot in a detailed manner. Okay, so that time I will explain this use as the input and use as the output. But if we are not using clicking these check boxes here, okay, so this is a standard variable. Okay, so what I will do, create a variable. Okay, so I can click variable by clicking here. Okay, I can select the data type, like any data type means an untyped value. Right now I use a string. Now number, date, time, boolean. Okay, true, false, then near file window. Now credential used for login information. So this is a credential variable where that value is encrypted or not visible to the user. Okay, now we have the list variable, we have dictionary variable, record variable data type. Okay, then table data type, form file instance, and session. So these are the different data type used in automation anywhere. Like in other programming, we have the standard data type like a string, number. Okay, array, dictionary, list. So there are few other standard data types supported by automation anywhere, like window. So window is like a, we have different window names. So I will explain this window part later when we are automating web application or desktop application. So we will cover this window also. So it's to save the window name, window information with the URL. Okay, now you can see it's the tooltip saying window and application. Okay, if I'm clicking hovering on any data type, it will automatically explain the boolean true or false. Okay, file, a control room or desktop file or folder. Okay, so I will save the path of the desktop file and it will automatically use that file. Okay, then window, then credential, list. Okay, but right now we are using only string just for an example, and I'm creating this variable. Okay, so I'm creating variable from here by clicking on variable. Okay, and I just created one variable str temp. Now you can see str temp. Now you can see that there are by default two variables, sample number, sample string. Okay, whenever you create a new bot, it automatically included two default variables. One is number type, sample variable. Now you can see by hovering this, it will show you string text. This is the one black black tooltip. Okay. Even this logo this specific icon will help you to understand the data type of that specific variable. This hash means number digit. Now if I'm hovering on this variable, it will string text. Okay. So I have created variable by clicking this create variable. Okay. Now in action, okay, we have another option to create a variable. Let me show you. Now I want to create a variable and I click on the string. Means sorry, I'm searching the string action. Now you can see string. So here the different string operation, assign, extract, compare, but I'm using this assign, and assign means assigning value to the variable. Okay. So I drag and drop this assign command here. Okay. And select the destination string variable. Okay. So I just created a string variable in our variable section. So I can use strtemp and sample string. Okay. So sample string is by default variable. Now you can see we cannot see that sample number variable because the data type is digit or number for it. Okay. So it's showing only string variable as I drag this string command here. Understood? Okay. Now you can see it's showing that string. Okay. I can use a number here, but this number is will be saved as a text. Understood? Because it's by default using a text. Okay. Now as I said, we have another method to create a variable. So I created here, but I don't want to use this sample string or strtemp. So what I will do, I will click here on this x plus. X plus means create a variable. Okay, I click here. Now you can see here I do not have any option to select a different data type because I'm clicking here on the string. Okay, so I will create like str new variable. Okay, and select. Now I will save this. Now I created a variable from str from here with the str new variable. Now you can see, okay, new variables, this str new variable is automatically created. Okay. So by clicking on this button, it will allow you to create select the different data type. Okay. But if you are using from here like a string, okay, assigned to the string, so it won't allow you to select the data type. Okay. If I'm using number data type, so what I can do, I can search for the number. Okay, there is number. Now assign value to the number. Okay, I will click here. I will use like num. Okay, so I'm using num temp. Okay, and it will create a number data type, but it's not allowing me to select the data type because by default I know that I need to create a number data type variable for the number data type. Okay, and now it will create variable here with the number data type. Now you can see we have two sections here. Okay, your variable and predefined variable. So whatever the new variable you are creating, while writing your logic or building your logic to write the code. So those are part of by default variable or default variable, and these are the predefined variable. Predefined variable means like let me show you installation path, a task editor, a task name, a control room, CPU usage, date, day, hour, So these are the system defined, means there is a specific value is a predefined. Okay. So I will explain that variable to you. But first of all, I will assign here some value. Okay. Now you can see in a string str new variable, and this is a temp. Now what I'm doing, this is a string variable. Now you can see here you can check the data type. You can you can understand using icon, or you can by using you can understand the type of this number or this string. Okay. So I'm putting my name here, or I'm assigning my name as the value to the str new variable. Okay. And I will copy this command and paste here. Now what I'm doing, I want to display the number and my name in the message box. Okay. So what I will do, I will click here, insert value. Okay. So what I need to do, str new variable. Okay. Correct. So it will display my name into the message box. Now it's saying downloading dependency. Okay. So whatever the commands or data type variable or whatever the commands I'm using here, dragging and dropping, those packages might not be a part of that current environment. Okay. So first of all, it download and then it will run. Now you can see I use a variable and now it's displaying my name. Okay. Now what I'm doing, I'm stopping the bot, and once again, now I want to display this number. Okay. So I click here, I click on insert value button. Okay. Now you can see I want to display this number variable, correct? But that number variable is missing here, correct? It's not visible in this drop down list. Okay. What is the name is numtemp. I'm clicking here. I'm trying to search numtemp, and it's not part of this search box. Is there any specific reason behind that? Anyone? Kamachi, Pranjal, Parthasarthi.
Swanand, can you repeat the question once?
Okay. I want to see this. Like you can see, I assign this value to the numtemp. Okay, this is a 10, and I assign to the numtemp. Now, then once again, I assign this Swanand text value to the str new variable. Okay. Now
Okay.
I inserted this value new variable. Okay, by selecting here. Okay, but I want to select a numtemp,
Okay.
but it's not
Okay, I can.
visible here.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So the thing is here, you cannot show, I mean, you can only show the string in message box. I mean, it should be the string only. So the first thing is you need to convert your number into a string, and then only you will be able to show it using message box.
Correct. Okay. Understood, guys. Parthasarthi, I want to hear your voice.
Yes, Parag.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay. So whatever I'm teaching, whatever I'm explaining, you should respond actively that you understood that point. If any time whatever I'm explaining, if you are not able to understand, please stop me and ask the question same time.
Sure.
Yes,
Okay.
Anand, I have one doubt. Yes, Anand.
Yes, please go ahead.
We are using str like string, right, for these variables, but
Mhm.
also we can use as variable v, right? Initially, you are using in the place of str v. For creating new variables, we will use as v initially by starting that.
Uh, Sorry, I just little bit confused. Could you please repeat?
No, see, now we have you created this new variable, right? In
Yes.
that, you are telling it is a string, right? It starts with str.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
For creating a new variable, yeah, also we will use initial like v starting with v, or how it is actually. If
Okay.
I want to create
So
a new variable, then
yes.
what I need
So
to do?
different people or different organization, they follow their own standard. Okay. So I will
Okay,
share one document created by automation anywhere. Whatever the standard naming convention or standard we need to follow while developing the bot. Okay. Like naming convention, then error handling. Okay. So as per the automation anywhere, we follow whatever the standard, correct? So
okay,
when you start learning your own, okay, you may use any kind of initial, but as a global, as a standard automation anywhere standard, what we need to follow. So I will explain that part in detail. Okay, but initial as a part of this training session, I will follow the same standard followed by the automation anywhere. Even there are few other things, but I will explain in detail later on. That I will share one document with you. What automation anywhere suggests us to follow the standard naming convention, even for the input, output, file system. They have different naming convention. Like any other user should identify the type of variable from here only or from the code only. Okay. Even with the like if I'm using this string variable as the input. Okay. This icon help me to understand the data type, but it won't help me to understand input or output type of that variable. Okay. So I will show you, or I will share that document with you, so it will help you to understand the standard standard followed by automation anywhere. Maybe in next 1 or 2 days I will get that document, so I will share with you. So that's not a big problem. You can follow your own standard, but it's good if you are following that standard suggested by automation anywhere. Okay. You can put any name as per your requirement, but standard coding is required when you create your you follow that standard for in a production environment. Now after 6 months or 8 months or after 1 year, anyone or any support person use referring your code, so he should understand that whatever the uh, coding standard you are following, like a commenting message box, proper information in your code. Okay. So your variable naming convention should like that. Okay. It should be a meaningful name. You should follow a proper standard. So I will explain while we are automating one of our demo projects in our last session. So we will discuss all those points. I will add a proper comment so you will understand very easily.
okay, okay, sir.
Okay.
Thanks.
uh okay, now you can see that I cannot see this num temp here. If I click insert value, it's only support a string. Now you can see this symbol, this icon, this message box is only support to the string. Okay. So what kind of option I have to display this number data type into the message box? Okay. So I have action, like I'm searching number. Okay. Like you can see, this is a number. In action, I have search box, I search number. Okay. And I use a to string. Okay. Number to string. Okay. So what I will do, enter a number, enter a number of digits after decimal. Okay. It's asking me to assign Okay, enter number. So what I will do, I will select, I will click on this X. Now you can see num temp sample number CP usage only with the hash symbol or hash icon you can see here. So all these are the data type. Even these are the string variable, predefined variable. These are the, we just created this variable. So I will click num temp and yes insert. Okay. And it's asking me to number to string. Okay. And now you can see create a variable. Okay. Now I'm converting that number into the string. Okay. So what I will do, str. Now already I have name already exists. Okay. So what I will do, converted from number. Okay. Now you can see str temp converted from number. So this proper naming convention, meaningful naming convention, even the variable name is, it's a big, like you can see it support maximum 50 character. Okay. But you can easily understand that I have converted this temp, okay, converted variable number to string. Okay. So this is a meaningful naming convention we can use in a real time. So I will explain in detail later, but right now I have created this. Okay. And now I can click here. Okay. str temp converted from number. Okay. So I converted this temp number variable into the string. I'm selecting yes insert and save. Okay. Now I will run the bot. Okay. Now you can see that number is displaying here, but I converted that number into string. Now it's displaying here. Okay. So direct value is not supported here. We need to convert that number into string and then we can do that. Now I'm using a comment here. Okay, what I did, converted number to string. Okay, what I did, I search for comment and I use this converted number to string. Now whatever the operation I'm doing, I can easily understand by putting this kind of comments. Now what I did, sorry, I'm copying this, Control C and paste item. Now you can see. Okay, I'm displaying values into message box. Okay, so that kind of commenting we should follow as a standard practices. So whatever the operation we are performing, like displaying values into message box, now I'm displaying variable like str temp converted. Okay, so I'm using this value, but in real time in production you should mention the variable name, or you should mention what kind of values, like if I'm using weight. Okay, so I'm displaying weight, I'm displaying like a total amount. So I will use like a displaying total amount, uh product price. Correct. So that kind of information you should mention in your comment. Okay, so it will be a very easy to check your code Okay, so this is a standard practices you should follow. Okay, now I shown that we converted that number into string. Okay, now I want to explain the other section of this variable, that is predefined variable. So there are some system variable, there are some string variable, clipboard. Clipboard is one of the variable mostly like so I will explain this clipboard with a with a proper example. We have some demo packages, variable type demo. So someone created some demo variable, only for the as the part of predefined. Like I want to check that we can use this kind of variable here, but uh, we need to focus on other system defined or predefined variable. Okay, now you can see day, hour, then machine, minute, month, okay, millisecond, seconds, total RAM, year. Okay, so I want to display year in a message box. Okay, so what I will do, I need to convert number to string. Okay, as we know, this year is in a number format. Okay, but we cannot display that number directly here in this message box. Okay, so what we will do, once again we will use the same number to string. Okay, so I'm using same action, number to string once again. Okay, so we can drag and drop from here. Okay, like number to string, or we can copy this and paste. Okay, copy paste, we can use copy paste this icon, or we can use control C control V. Okay, now what I'm doing, I want to convert year into string. Okay, now I will click on here now. Okay, now I have different options. So even day, now year. So I can prefer day or month, but now you can see the current day is the 5th of May, so it will create a confusion like it is a day or month. So that's why I prefer to show you as an example, like year as an example. Okay, so I've selected year. Now you can see this system is already you know showing that this is a system variable. Okay, but whenever we use any other variable, it won't display like this system. Okay, system means this is a predefined variable, system variable. Okay, now what I'm doing, I'm creating str year. Okay, and I create select. Okay, now save. Now I will click here, and after that I will click here and str year. Okay, saved. Now I will run the pod. Now you can see it's displaying the year. Okay, now this is the first variable, str new variable, where I save my name, my first name. Then str temp converted from number. I assigned 10 as a number. Now it's displaying into the string message box, and this is the current year. Okay, if I'm displaying month, year, month, then day, or second, millisecond. So first of all, I need to convert that into the string. Okay, so I shown this command to convert from here. Okay, so this is a standard conversion from number to string, and there is one more method where we need to display the values into the message box. Okay, so how I can display that, I can put a inline coding. Okay, inline coding or inline method. Okay, Pranjal, Kamachi, please just focus on this method. This is one of the question I ask in an interview. Okay, if I want to display the day, current day, or current month, or current year in a message box, so what are the method to display the values in the message box? So this is a method to convert from number to string, but we need to drag and drop or use a one line here, one additional line to display the day. So what we can do, I can use this dollar symbol, because this is a predefined standard used by automation anywhere. So even I'm using this variable name, okay, but by default it automatically using this dollar symbol, like before and after, and between that it's using this dollar symbol. Okay, now what I want to display the current day. So what I will do, I will use a day. Now you can see system day number. Okay, and I click here, but system day invalid expression, because this is a string supported. And what I do, I just click here, like I will use the arrow to shift one by one, and I will use a dot, and I will use a toString. Now you can see this is the second method. This kind of method is known as a inline method, okay, or inline coding. So instead of converting number to string, I use this kind of method where system day number converted directly to string. Okay, now I will run the bot. Now you can see it's displaying the day in a number. Okay, so I have not converted this day using this method. I directly use dot toString. Okay, so how exactly do I use I use dollar symbol. Now I want to use a month. Okay, now I select this month number. Now I use the arrow to put the dot. Okay, so where we need to put the dot, before this last dollar symbol, I will put the dot. Now it will show me the option number to string. And okay, so now you can see what I will do. I will put a proper information, like uh, space. So this is a day. Okay, and this is month. So this is the message box. So it will display day, month, and whatever the values are here. Okay, once again I will use our system, our variable, and I will use dollar. I will search for hour, and I will convert that hour into toString. Okay, so this is the inline method. Okay, by using this inline method, I save like a 3 line of coding. Okay, so instead of putting 3 different line, I'm directly converting this value by using dot toString. Okay, now I'm running the bot. Now it will display proper information into the message box. Now you can see this is the previous information, previous variable we display, including year. But here, after this line, day equal to 5. Okay, day equal to 5, like a 5th May. Then month, instead of May, it's use a number. 5 day, 5th month, then hour. Now you can see hour, 11 hour. Okay, for the 11 a.m. it's showing the 11 hour. Okay, if I'm using a minute, it will show that the current minute, whatever in as per our system. Okay, as we are using system variable, it will display whatever the values are on the current system. Okay, understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Parag.
Yes, Swanand.
Okay.
Yes, Swanand, I got it.
Yeah, so I will close this. So this is the one of the best option we need to follow to, if we want to reduce the line of code. Okay, instead of converting those values into number or number to string. So I will explain. If we want to convert from number to string or string to number, we have both option. Okay, so you can try your own, like if you want to uh, convert string to number. Okay, like I shown that string to number, I shown that number to string. But if you are searching for string, okay, now you have that kind of feature converting number, a string to number. Okay, so in a string action or string command, you have that feature converting string to number. Okay, but if you want to convert number to string, what you need to do, you need to search or check the feature in number. Okay, number to string. Okay, so the conversion feature you have like this, and you can convert from inline coding. Okay, so I'm putting this information only for your information, so I will put this in our chat, so it will help you for the conversion purpose or understand how exactly I did that. Okay, so you can see what other things we covered here, like a string, number, then conversion with the inline. Okay, so what we covered in today's session, we covered data type. So we covered two different data type. One is number. Okay, another is a string. Then conversion from number to string. Okay, so here is conversion using command and inline method. Okay, so we covered this information here. Okay, as a part of today's session. So like you can see that browser, basic data type. Okay, so I just covered this thing. There are multiple part we will cover in our next session, but I will share this document properly maybe in next 2 days with the proper information, proper meaning. So we are creating this document as part of our standard documentation. So you can refer this note in a detail while preparing for the interview or as a part of standard information. But I need to format this properly. So whatever the I'm what are the information I'm sharing in our session. So I will try to cover maximum part as a technical point of view or as a part of information which you need to understand. Sometime what happened when you are facing the interview and interviewer is not technical person, and he more focus on the processes. So I will explain one of my experience. So I will share that experience with you. So I was and in my last organization I interview for a lead position, and that person is a director level of person. Okay, and he's not aware about the automation anywhere, so he mainly focus on the processes. Okay, so whatever the tools we are using, we are automating the business processes. So he asked me, what is the meaning of task? What is the meaning of process? like what kind of process you are automated in finance, what kind of process you are automated in HR. So instead of asking question on a technical point of view, he focus on the processes. Okay, so I will try to cover in a detailed manner like processes and tools and technology, okay, in our session. So even I'm saying that it will take uh, 2.5 months or some time our batch might extend, because I need to cover each and everything as a learning point of view, as an interview point of view. Okay. Okay. So I covered lots of things in today's session, and maybe I thought that you will understand easily, but I think you may need to do this task manually by yourself. So I will share this information maybe next 2 days, but whatever the document, or like whatever the document I have created right now, I will share, so you can go through all these points by yourself. So whatever the document I have, I will share right now. So you just need to try all those things manually by yourself, and whatever the challenging you are facing to understand, you can put that message in our group, and I will try to help you to understand or fix your issues before our next session on Saturday. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay, sir.
is there any
Okay, Swanand.
question in today's session? So whatever the questions you have right now, we have 10 minutes. You can ask me any question. So I think we can go one by one. Pranjal, do you have any question?
No, Swanand. I'm pretty much cleared with all these things. Thank
Uh,
you.
Kamachi, Kamachi, I think you are on mute. Do you have any problem?
Yes,
Any
yes.
question?
Yes. No, Paras. I'm not clear.
Manoj,
No, son, I don't have any questions right now.
Mohan, Parthasati.
I'm clear, Sunam.
Okay. If anytime you feel that you are facing any problem, you can ping me on WhatsApp. Okay. It's not mean that whatever the challenge, whatever the problem or a question you have, it's not if any time in a real time while practicing you are facing, you can put a message. uh, we may chat separately, or you can call me separately. Sometime I may not available on the call due to, because currently I'm working with the organization, so I need to spend time with on day-to-day task. But I'm 100% give guarantee that I will respond you when I'm available to respond you. Okay. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Swanand.
Paras.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you, Swanand.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye bye.